Hi guys! Happy Grandparents' Day to our lolos and lolas. It's September 13th and today we're going to have our very first SoCal Pinoys virtual class and it's called Basic Tagalog for Children and Their Parents. We have Jennifer Suzara-Cheng. She's an educator who started her teaching career at the Ateneo de Naga University and is now a science teacher at the Los Angeles Unified School District. And she passed her Tagalog fluency test in California, and she will be presenting some pages from her award-winning book, her Tagalog-English children's book called My First Book of Animals, Ang Aking Unang Aklat ng Mga Hayop, which won first place in the 2020 International Book Awards. Let's all welcome Jennifer!
Good evening po, mga lola, mga lolo. Lola yung una. So, nandito po ako ngayon at nagagalak akong makasama kayo upang mailipat natin ang kakayahan ng pagsasalita ng Tagalog para sa aking mga apo, mga anak, mga pamangkin. Maraming salamat po sa pag-attend ng ating unang virtual workshop ng SoCal Pinoy. Thank you, Mick.
Magandang gabi po, mga kapwa ko Filipino-Americans dito sa Southern California. I'm very happy to be here and my task is to explain how to teach Tagalog to our children and grandchildren. Ako po ay isang certified na lola, kaya kasama yung grandchildren. So, ang una pong question, why should we read to our children and grandchildren? Tayo pong mga Pilipino, we love books. Kahit noon pa sa Philippines, memories ko ng libro hanggang ngayon, fresh na fresh pa rin sa isip ko. So, research showed that the bonding created when an adult reads a book to their child, eventually, they learn more and they retain all those memories. So, when we read picture books, we make the sound of the animals, we pronounce the right enunciation of the word in Tagalog. And so we can tell them stories about carabaos, about other indigenous animals in the Philippines. So, ang maganda po dyan yung bond na nakikreate between the adult and the child. So, maganda rin po use yung technology. Totoo yun. Bigyan mo lang ng iPhone, ng iPad, TV yung bata, okay na. Pero, mas maganda pa rin po yung may interaction kayo sa mga bata. Dahil sa kanilang brain development, use of technology continuously is not good for them eventually. Ang pangalawang question ay, why should we teach our children Tagalog? So, marami na po akong nakilala ng mga pinanganak dito or nag-migrate dito habang bata pa sila na they cannot speak Tagalog anymore. So, may mga estudyante rin po ako sa school na nagsasabi how they wish they can learn Tagalog. Ang pinakamaganda pong pagturo ng language sa bata ay habang maliliit. As a tao ay habang maliliit pa sila. So, mas madaling acquisition ng language. However, continuous exposure to the language, yung pinakausap niyo parati, mas maganda din yun. Ang totoo pong role nating mga first generation, second generation immigrant would be to serve as the invisible bridge of culture between the Philippines and the United States. Oo, totoo na pinili nating manirahan dito, pero meron din tayong ethnic culture na maganda rin pong i-impart sa mga bata na pinanganak na dito. Ang pangatlo pong question is how to teach our children Tagalog without sacrificing English fluency. It's really true. I have heard comments that they have to speak English so they could adapt. I believe in that. Pero maganda rin po na hindi natin kalimutan yung ating sariling kultura, yung ating sariling pagkain, yung ating mga salawikain, yung mga literature. So, totoo na nandito tayo sa Amerika, pero maganda rin kung patuloy nating may impart sa mga bata yung mga information tungkol sa Philippines. Next question po, pang-apat, how to build vocabulary platforms. Ang pinakauna, yung mga common na ginagamit natin sa bahay, katulad ng suklay for foam, baso for glass, kutsara for spoon, tinidor for fork. So, ito po yung mga simple vocabulary that eventually build to more and more understanding of the language. So, sunod po na question ay, bakit yung mga aklat na sinulat ko, puro living organisms yung mga pictures na ginagamit? Ako po ay isang science teacher dito sa Los Angeles at ako po ay isang environmental advocate. Ang number one po na way to create environmental awareness to students is to make them become aware of the living organisms around them. So yung mga libro pong sinulat ko, may, kahit na ABCD, mga animals pa rin. Mga animals ABCD rin ng mga halaman, counting animals din, and then meron na po kaming bagong libro ngayon tungkol sa river. Meron na po akong 20 na libro na lahat may translation ng Tagalog in line for publishing continuously. So with those, ang goal po talaga is to give opportunities to the children and to the parents and give them guide how to teach the children Tagalog. So, ang pinaka-importante po ay magamit yung mga words na sinalalaman nila at magamit yun sa conversation para sa understanding and comprehension. As Filipino-American first generation, yun po ang aking advocacy at this point na maibahagi sa mga future generation of Filipino-Americans ang kultura ng Pilipino. Napakaganda po ng ating kultura. At ako po, proud na Filipino ako. Sa award nights ko, sa environmental advocacy, gumagamit po ako ng malong. So, tayo po, bilang Filipino-Americans, napakaganda ng ating culture. At bilang po pagkain, pero lahat ng ating mga kaugalian na pwede natin i-impart sa mga bata. Maraming salamat po at sana ay maging simula ito ng isang pag-uusap upang mapalago natin ang Tagalog language dito sa Amerika. Maraming salamat po.
We will have a Q&A at the very end of our live session. Go to our YouTube channel and ask us questions so that Jennifer can answer them for us. She's also going to be sharing her website and her books at the very end of our session. If you have any questions, send us some questions through our YouTube channel. Please join our live chat.
Ang susunod pong video na inyong makikita ay isang example of a young Filipino-American little girl who actually benefited and appreciated the book that she was gifted to. So, enjoy po yung video, nakakatuwa siya. Talagang excited at ang kanyang natural na charisma at ganda na talagang ma-appreciate natin ang ating mga bata. Enjoy the video.
Amphibians, insects, birds, fish, lots of stuff for this book about animals and everything. So
show the cover.
Pretty cool. And also, by the way, as you read, so first you can translate, like see the Philippines and English. So look, see ant, langgam, or dog, aso, cat, pusa, bear, oso, elephant, elefante, firefly, alitap-tap.
What else?
Goat, kambing, horse, caballo. Am I saying it with the Filipino accent or is it bad?
It's good. Okay.
because I am half Filipino, so
Okay.
I'm just,
It should be good. What else?
insecto, jellyfish, tikay, kingfisher, pescador. What is this kingfisher? Lion, leon, monkey, unggoy, newt, patiki, owl,
Butiki.
putiki, owl, kawaga,
Kawago.
sorry, I'm just saying it now, like fast. Parrot, loro, quail, yugo, rabbit, conejo,
Perfect.
snake, ahas, turtle, bagang,
Pagong.
pagong. My nose burn.
Okay.
And other stuff.
Okay.
So I like this book because you first can translate to Filipino, and I need to learn Filipino. And second of all, look, it shows like pictures. Like I had no idea there was a whale shark, but I guess that they exist. And then I never saw one, but then you can literally see one right now here.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. Thank you, Nina Giselle.
A couple of people have requested that you speak English because they don't know any Tagalog yet. That's something that we got from our live chat on YouTube. For those people who are tuning in to our very first SoCal Pinoys virtual class, ask us some questions in our YouTube live chat. I also shared the link to our group page. I'll be checking that from time to time. If you have any questions for Jennifer, go ahead and send them right now. While we're waiting, I just wanted to remind everyone about our next SoCal Pinoys virtual class. The next one coming up is on Wednesday, September 16. That's the SoCal Pinoys 101. That's with me, Eliza, and Charles. And we'll be talking about how you can use our Facebook group and all the good things that you can discover from our group. And we also have tips. That's all coming up on Wednesday, September 16. SoCal Pinoys 101.
The whole little video that we prepared ahead of time was actually about building a vocabulary first of common things that your children can see around the household or animals that they love. And then after that, phrases. Then after that, sentences. And after that would be conversations. So hopefully this will be an ongoing virtual workshops that we can sponsor for free so that we can have interaction as to how to actually encourage children to have to build their vocabulary. So what you can see in the screen actually are snippets of my books that I have published. These are the pages that you can see when this is the first three books that I wrote about the animals, the plants, and accounting. So I used animals. For example, here you can see insects and then insecto. And then jellyfish is called dikya in Tagalog. And then kingfisher is called pescador in Tagalog. So here you will see fly, langaw in Tagalog, and then butterfly is paru-paro, mosquito is lamok, and then dragonfly tutubi, beetle is salagubang. Then this is for additional information for the children when they ask you, where is Philippines? How come where is the island that you came from? Where's the province you came from? There's a handy page in the book wherein you can see the Philippine map. And then we have here more animals such as shark, pating, catfish, hito, grouper, lapu-lapu, and then carp, karpa. Now, we also have monkey. So this is very popular among the kids, right? And then newt or butike, and then owl, kuwago, parrot, loro, and then quail, pugo. The next book that I wrote used animals for plants for alphabet. Now, this is For avocado, avocado. So as you can see, the word, some of the words in English and then in Tagalog are kind of similar. However, there are some that are because of the corrupted nature, not corrupted. Tagalog is a continuous, what they call that, a combination of different words from different languages such as Spanish and English. So banana, saging, cherry, cereza, and then daikon for radish, and then we have umbrella, halaman, viola, and then the very quite popular fruit here, we have watermelon or pakwan. Now, next is also I added in the plant book the habitat mountain. How do you call the mountain? We go camping in the bundok. And then ocean, karagatan, and then sea is dagat. Okay. So science teacher po kasi kaya ngayon I also added parts of the plant including the flowers, bulaklak, leaves, mga dahon, stem, tangkay, fruits, mga prutas, at roots, mga ugat. Also, we have the herbs. Herba buena, turmeric is luyang pula, and then bougainvillea is bougainvillea, bitter gourd is ampalaya. The third book is actually a book of counting, but still using living organisms as example. And I also added, because in the Philippines, if you, some of you who would have still parents or the grandparents, what we were very particular about handwriting. So we have the blue and the red and the blue line. So this is a tracing for numbers they actually included, so the kids can practice. And then you can just photocopy before you they wrote on this, make a copy so that they can use it over and over again, right? Yeah, so 4 would be 4 monkeys in Tagalog, at apat na unggoy. And you add the word na because that's how you say it in phrases. Okay, then we have 9 butterflies, siyam na paru-paro. So you count them, isa, dalawa, tatlo, apat, lima, anim, pito, walo, siyam. You can actually start counting from the first page and going back and forth. Now, we have at one page would be continuously just the words and the letters and no pictures, because I want to have more information downloaded to you. We start with labing isa, labing dalawa, and so on up to dalawampu, which is 20. Now, here, 8 goats, it says walong kambing. So you make the kids count the goats one by one. So you start with isa, dalawa, tatlo, apat, lima, anim, pito, walo. And also, we have, this is the one that we're going to be publishing next week, ang aking ang libro tungkol sa kulay at hugis. So makikita nyo na yung cover niya, you can see that the cover has shapes and then colors. Then we have, yeah, this one is the short story that I said, from vocabulary to phrases to short stories. Now this book is actually written in 3 different languages. Well, the first one is English, next is Tagalog, and then the third one is Bicol. I hail from Bicol. I'm a proud Bicolana, and Bicol River is one of our most precious natural resource in Bicol, and they have started cleaning it up. So we have so many books on our way, and you can always you can check our website. And also, the proceeds of the book's profit will be donated to an environmental advocacy in the Philippines that I am sponsoring. I'm from Ateneo de Naga University, and we have a project called Sulog. And so we want to plant native species of trees. This is a tribute to my mentor. And it's very important to me that we support that project. And this is our logo. I want to explain it to you. The Philippine flag is red, white, and blue. And from that country, which is so little and so small in the world, rise an environmental thought and awareness for the environment, aside from our rich culture and heritage. Thank you so much. So, ngayon po yung question and answer portion. Yung may mga questions na posted sa YouTube. Importante po na itanong ninyo yung mga question na sana masagot ko. Hindi po ako language teacher, but I have a reading credential. At hindi rin po ako Filipino major, but I passed the Filipino fluency test for the state. I am very proud that I can speak Tagalog, Bicol, and English fluently. And as part of our rich culture and heritage being Grandparents' Day today, I would want to invite the grandparents and the parents to transfer the culture of our country of origin to our present resident. Thank you. Mick, you have questions now?
Actually have a question. What age groups are your books appropriate for?
Oh yeah. So the age group starts at at least 4 years old up to 10 for the vocabulary, but then you can start earlier than that. But then of course you that's what the school psychologist suggested, to acquire new language at 4 years old. So I'm just following what they told us.
Will you have any books other than environmentally themed?
The one that just what got published yesterday was Elias about the Bicol River. It's about environment, cleaning the river. And then there's another one that's coming out in 3 weeks that I wrote with my good friend, Dr. Alan Seoson from Ateneo too. It's called The Water Cycle. Now, I'm planning to publish not only books that I wrote. I want to give opportunity to Filipino writers in the Philippines to have their work go international. So if you know someone who wants to have their work published, I can help them do that. And it will also help us have more options when we go shopping for books.
We have another question. It is actually from Eliza. It says, for those with very young children, do you recommend for them to speak pure Tagalog or other Filipino language at home?
Because Philippines has so many languages, so many there's an argument about the regional dialects as not language. According to an expert in Ateneo that I asked last night, when you say Filipino language is composed of more than one: Tagalog, Bicol, Ilocano, Bisaya. So according to psychologists, the earlier you start with them will be the better. However, it will also be good to have phrases attached to that, not only vocabulary. So when you talk, say for example, you're going to describe this pen. This is a black pen. And then you're gonna say in Tagalog, in English, this is itim na ball pen. So you can blend them together, but fluency will only come after practice. Fluency will only come after building vocabulary, after practicing, continuously practicing. And there's a lot of conversation happening at this point to provide options for parents to have a Filipino virtual school. So there's a lot of conversation happening.
One of our members, Carol, has a question. And she said, since you said you're a Bicolana, would you have a Bicol version of your books? And for that matter, would you have other versions of your books for other dialects?
So very open to that. I actually was talking to other friends who didn't come from Bicol, And they said Cebuano, they said Ilocano. They said, yeah, I'm very open to that. And as long as we have a market and I could break even, then we can do it. Yeah, let me know. There is an email in my website and let me know. I reply to them daily.
I think those are all of the questions that we had. Someone just said they have no questions, but they appreciate this and their children are 8 and 10 and they're very interested in learning. Eliza, do you have any more questions that you saw from the group?
I don't see any, but for those who are watching late or will be watching this on replay, maybe we can compile the questions and then send it to Jen. And then we can, get their emails and answer those questions for later.
We can probably do a follow-up on this class and this topic, and maybe you can do another reading for us. That would be great. A lot of kids can actually join us.
Anytime, I would be very glad to come back. Happy Grandparents Day today for all the grandparents who are watching right now and who will be watching on the replay. It's very important for us as grandparents to be able to transfer culture that's very rich in heritage, and we should be very proud of where we came from, because Filipino culture is very beautiful as it is. And I'm very proud to be a Filipino American, and I'll never forget where it came from, and hopefully you will too. Thank you so much for your time.
That concludes our session. Thank you, Jennifer. This is our very first SoCal Pinoys virtual class. We'll be having 6 other virtual classes and a lot of virtual classes in October for Filipino American History Month on Wednesday, September 16 at 7 o'clock p.m. That's SoCal Pinoys with me, Eliza, and Charles. And we'll be talking about how you can maximize your membership in the SoCal Pinoys Facebook group. Bye!
Bye.